I've been an actor on network shows before, and I kind of am enthralled by how many challenges everybody says there are. And there's so much, everyone's like, there's so much red tape. Oh, this dude's gonna tell you to not do this and not do that, and oh, you just wait, and I was like, I accept the challenge,
How did you end up with ABC? Like, what was it for you where it was just like, this is the right home?
Yeah, it's totally wacky in a way because, I really do come from, making, as an actor, I've done all kinds of stuff, but as a creator and a filmmaker, I've come from very scrappier productions, whether it's short films, I have a handful of short films that I've made and then 2 features. And, I had been offered a lot of like studio pictures to rewrite, like somebody, like a show, like a movie that was like, oh, it's a female driven comedy or something, and I was like, if I'm going to direct a female driven comedy, I'm probably going to write it. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like there was anything that really made glaring sense to kind of take the next step up in the film world at the juncture in which I was. I just wanted to create, and I wanted a place and a space and a budget and the resources to do that. And so my friend Liz Merriweather, she was on the tail end of, I've known her forever, since No Strings Attached, and a movie we did together, and she was right at the end of New Girl. And I think the challenges were interesting to me. And I knew, Liz was like, oh man, boy, you're so naive. Wait, when we're like down the road 5 years from now, you're gonna be like, God damn it, but Liz and I want to work with friends only. I was like, I'm not going to do a network show on my own. I want to just work with one of my close friends. So Liz, who's like a TV goddess, like genius, in the network space, certainly, she was like, yes, let's do this. Oh my God, let's think of ideas. And we just sat on a couch and like started spitballing.
Okay. Guess it could use a coat of paint. Something warmer, like a light brown or a medium yellow. I think we're going to be there.
Yep.
Not too shabby.
When you're going into a pilot, so much of it is kind of setting a tone and aesthetic and realizing the vision, but you also have to do it rather quickly, and then it gets workshopped. And I was kind of curious how your directorial mindset and challenges and process shifted from directing the pilot in season 1 to season 2, when you'd gotten 6 episodes under your belt and you knew a little bit more about where you wanted to take it.
I think in general, the challenge always, and what I'm trying to pay attention to, is just space and expanse, right? Like what's unique to Bless This Mess is, we shoot on location ostensibly, we don't have a soundstage. So everything is texturally very authentic. There's parts of it that in a longer form, make it harder. It's like there is a scrappiness to it, believe it or not, that feels a little indie, and it's like, we'll just figure it out, hold this, but it's like still like, everything's very regulated because it is a studio. It's very responsible. I think it's really important also to maintain a sort of comedic sensibility that has room for improvisation. It's not improvised fully, but it has room and it's welcomed. So like I'm on set every day, and I make sure not only in our casting that we have actors who are comfortable with that, but we do luxuriate in that playfulness. And I do think that it sort of like lends itself to, you can see in the episodes that there's like this texture of little bits of messiness, and and that's hard. I have to like fight really hard for that, and I think now the tone is more established, so people understand it, and the editors understand it, the producers, and then this, the network and the studio are comfortable with it.
Constance?
Rudy?
Gonna be warm tonight.
I suppose it is.
So warm I might sweat through the sheets.
Well, I hope you have a spare set.
I do not.
Rudy and Constance have just become such like an adorable, their own standalone aspect of the show where every time they come in contact with each other, something exciting is going to happen, even if it's just kind of the jokes or the chemistry or, you know, a development in it, as we see in the finale. But how do you go about kind of building that? Like, how much is kind of exploring how to construct the relationship and build it out in the writer's room versus, you know, working with great actors like Pam Grier and Ed Begley Jr. on set to try to, you know, find something in the moment?
I will say, they have a great chemistry. So I think, you know, like anything in a TV show, it's like you're going to try out, you know, initially we're like, we're going to see if this works, you know, and then when it worked so well and they had such a tremendous sort of natural rapport, and Ed's comedic sensibility and timing is so epic, that we wanted to really kind of put him in as much as we could. You know, and Pam brings such like heart and warmth, and she's so like, you know, on set, she's first of all, she's Pam Grier. Okay. She's motherfucking Pam Grier. And, I'm very happy that we're on speed dial now. And she just is very authentic to this person and this characterization. So she's brought so much to it. She lives on a ranch in Colorado. She has horses. She like writes to me as Connie, you know, like even when we're not shooting, she just really feels it. And I feel like that plus the comedic kind of like sharpshooter timing that Ed Begley has, it's like a really beautiful combo because they just bring so much.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask about in general, which is, it seems, I guess, kind of like a silly question, but I feel like a piece of common advice that's given to filmmakers is don't work with children and don't work with animals. And there are so many animals in Bless This Mess. And to go along with the idea that, you know, you're out there, you know, offset, kind of wrangling things and doing it on your own. What's that like? What's the challenge and the extra lead time that goes along with a scene where you've got a million chickens in the pen or in the house, or you've got pigs that you've got to deal with? What are the kind of the logistical issues that you have to prep for with that?
I mean, there's a couple things at play here, which is I do love animals, and the part of the appeal of this show was to get, as a person, is to work with them, but as a filmmaker and as a director and producer, it does pose challenges. That said, we kind of have a system. You know, we shoot on a working ranch, so there's space. Our wranglers are incredible. Our animal wranglers are terrific, super professional, really calm energy. They're thoughtful. We have such a rapport with them now, and I give them great credit because, you know, if we need something specific, we have a long discussion in pre-production about, you know, if we need a chicken to stand on a goat and that chicken has not done standing on goats before, you know, and it's a certain chicken that we want on a certain goat, you know, it's like, and, you know, and then we want the goat to like jump off a waterbed, you know what I mean? Like there's things that we want. And I think we always lead with what is safe, and we never want to put an animal like in an uncomfortable situation. We just change it on the day if it doesn't work. We're like, you know what, like the chicken doesn't want to stand on the goat, you know what I mean? And like, and that's okay.